Good morning. Good morning. I'm Dallas Jr. With I Am Reunion with your morning inspiration. Just letting you know that God is love and love is God. Thank y'all for joining right now. Continue to be excited about the things that God is doing in the life of the believers. Okay, so today I'm talking about we don't have 40 years to be in the wilderness. We don't have 40 years. Okay, so what am I talking about? I'm reading from Joshua chapter 6 and verse, Joshua chapter 5 and verse 6. That's where I'm reading from. It says, "For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness till all the people that were men of war which came out of Egypt were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, unto whom the Lord sware that he would not show them the land which the Lord sware unto their fathers that he would give us, a land that flow with milk and honey." So what we're talking about, we're talking about the children of Israel. Even though they saw the promised land, they could not possess it because of their unbelief and not doing what God has called them to do. Or are you not doing what God has called you to do in this time? Are you doing what God has called you to do in this time? So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about, you know, we don't have 40 years to be in the wilderness. So whatever going on, we need to snap out of that thing, and we need to get alert. Good morning, Miss Keith. Thank you for joining. Good morning, KD. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Miss and thank you for joining. So we're talking about at this point in life, we do not have time. We do not have time. Look, listen one more time. Listen closely. We do not have time to keep wandering in the wilderness. We need to go ahead and get the necessary knowledge needed to change our life. As we see in Joshua chapter 5 and 6, how the children of Israel, God showed them a land, told them, look, that you will be able to possess the land. Some people, God had told you're able to do this thing, right? You're able to do this thing that God has told you to do, but because of your disobedience and not believing in God, you cannot possess the land, right? So we don't have time. We need to wise up right now. Now's the time to wise up. If God has called you to a thing, if God has called you to a place, what we need to do is time to wise up. It's time to wise up and go ahead and possess the land, possess the thing that God has called you to do. Because the thing that God has called you to do, He has anointed you. He has gave you the power. He has gave you the structure. He has told you the infrastructure. He gave you everything that you need, and all you need is a measure of faith. God say with a small measure of faith, the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. If we having issues and problems in our life, what we need to think about, are we doing what God has called us to do right now? God has called you to possess the land. Are you going to possess the land today? God has called you to possess the land. Are you going in and taking the land by force? God is calling you today to possess the land. Go in and take it, because this land that God is giving you is overflowing with everything you need. It's overflowing with milk and honey. So today, I challenge you today to dig deep into your spirit and go ahead and possess that thing that God has called you to possess. Some people God called to just be a good friend, a good brother, a good sister, somebody that's giving, somebody that's caring, somebody that has empathy. Whatever God has called you to do, it's time to possess the land now. We don't have another 40 years to wander around. Just think about that. God told you to do something and we're just wondering. And we're wondering why our needs are not being met the way that we think they should be met, because we're not going out in possessing the land. We have to take authority. We have to say, look, hey, God told me to do this. Since God told me to do it, guess what? It ain't nothing to it but to do it. All right, I'm DLS Junior. This is your morning inspiration. I pray that something was said or done that will change your perspective, change your mind, and convince you that now is the time to possess the land. I'm just letting you know that God is love and love is God. I'm out.